movie peeps. I saw Tenet. So, Tenet, oh man, how do I even begin to explain this film to you? Or the review. So, I guess let me start by saying it's 2.5 hours long, 150 minutes. So, that's how long I'm going to make this movie review. That way, I'm just kidding. I could not talk that long. So, yes, it's long. And, and it feels long. I mean, there's no denying that. But at the same time, actually, I'm going to do this one a little bit differently, too. I'm going to, go ahead and talk about some of what I think about it right on the front end. And then I'll get into the details more later on. But here's the thing. I like this film. I give it an 8 out of 10. But at the same time, this film really makes me mad. This film makes me mad. I sat down for 2.5 hours. I never went to the bathroom, which, be cautious if you go to theaters to see this, because it's 2.5 hours, and that drink, you empty the drink quicker than you think you do. So yeah, careful on the whole bathroom thing, because if you leave, you're gonna miss something. Every scene in this film is crucial. And all the dialogue and something that happens early in the film might mean something later on in the film. So there's not a good time to just get up, go, and use the bathroom. And then that's the thing. You really have to pay attention. You look at your text message or whatever happens, you are screwed. So, I sat down for 2.5 hours, watched this film, and I feel like I understood 90% of it. I still, in my mind, feel like there's some plot holes, and then that sits there and makes me question, oh, well, did I even understand it then? Am I actually only 30%? So, here's my thing with the film. If you're going to make me sit down for 2.5 hours, and I walk away from this film still having a lot of questions, I personally don't think that's a me problem. I think that's a bad execution problem. And I know he's a genius. There's no denying his talent or anything like that. It's spectacular. That's what I'm saying. I'd still give it an 8 out of 10. I just don't know if I would have gone to theaters to watch the most complicated movie I've ever seen in my life. To me, here's another thing that Nolan sometimes does, is some of the dialogue was just covered up. It was muffled to where you didn't actually hear what they said, whether it was just, the explosions happening or cinematography or whatever was going on. Sometimes somebody would say something and you're like, wait, what? And so for me, this is a movie that, if you're going to plan on watching it multiple times or anything like that, or if, you don't catch on those lines, you could be at home with closed captioning if need be, or you could rewind, and there you go. You can watch that scene again that had the dialogue that you missed. So I don't know. So that's why I'm a little bit mad with it. The fact that it's 2.5 hours, because if you watch it twice, that's 5 hours. I mean, I don't know. That just seems like a long time, and that's why I got to knock this film just a little bit, just because I think the story-wise it could have been explained a little bit more clear. And if you got it 100% and you completely disagree with me, props to you. Hit me up in the comments and just let me know that you're smarter than me. I'm completely fine with that. So, outside of that, let's dive into this a little bit. You got John David Washington, who does an amazing job. I mean, this dude crushes it. I liked everything he did in the whole film. Each scene that he does, he executed at 100%. Great. So, the narration parts and then just the action parts, does an incredible job. Which this movie is PG-13, just because there is a little bit of, some action scenes, some violence and things like that. Christopher Nolan isn't a big guy on the gore, so you don't got to worry too much about that. But there's still, fight sequences and stuff. So, let's just talk about the fight sequences, which were all incredible. The choreography for it was on point. There's no question about that, except for one scene. There's one scene where they're in a hallway, and it felt very slow and sluggish compared to everything else they did in the whole film. So I don't know what happened in that one. That's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want to have any spoilers for this review. But then anyways, you know, so you got Robert Pattinson, who does a good job. He's a great supporting cast member. You got Elizabeth Debicki, Kenneth Branagh, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and then Christopher Nolan just cannot direct the film anymore without Michael Caine. And I'm okay with that. And you should be too, because they have great chemistry, and who doesn't love Michael Caine? So, yeah, you know, 2.5 hour movie, PG-13. It is the most complicated movie I've ever seen in my life. And I know this, Christopher Nolan wrote and directed this completely by himself. So this makes perfect sense to him. And so it is a movie that the majority of the people are going to be like, oh man, I probably need to watch this again, or it's just going to go so far over your head, you're going to hate it. So just tread carefully with that mindset when you go to theaters to see this. Because even, you know, people I know that went to see it with me and stuff, one person hated it and the other person's like, man, I got to see this 5 more times. So there's that. And I'm even kind of the same way. Like, I do definitely want to see it again, but I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I don't need to go to theaters to see it. I just don't. I feel like now I need to kind of analyze it to make sure I get my questions answered. So the last thing I want to talk about this is the composer. And this dude, what he did was incredible, you know, and me being a music guy, like, I love sound scores and composing and stuff. This guy is a genius. I don't care what anybody says. And a lot of composing and scores, like, you know, help emotion, help the scenes and that kind of stuff. Like, have you ever watched a film without music? It's terrible. Not only did this guy do that, but he interacts with the film. It's truly incredible. And I don't want to give away the Tenet aspect, but, you know, it does involve time. And I don't want to say whether it's time travel, time warping, time bending, or anything like that. But this guy recorded the music in the same kind of aspect that the film is. And so it's just something to be, just have on your back burner. If you're sitting there listening to the music, or if you're a musician or anything like that, or if you like scores, pay a little bit of attention to the music in this one, because I think the guy did an excellent job. I actually didn't really notice it until closer to the end of the film, and that's a big thing on why I want to see it again, because I want to see how many times it happens earlier in the film that I just actually missed. So that's it. There is no after credit scene, so when the credits start scrolling, you can read everybody's names who helped bring it to life, or you can just get up and leave. So there you have it. That's the movie review. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you liked it, hit the like button. And like I said, in the comments, let me know if you understood this movie or it was just me. Like I said, I feel like I'm 90, but at the same time, since I'm not 100%, I could be 30 for all I know. So yeah, let me know in the comments where you're at with it. And then, like always, hit subscribe. That way you're notified for future movie reviews. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.